Hey Vivala, I'm Concepcion and I went to college in Iowa. It was probably about as terrible as you're thinking it is. After growing up in New York City, it was so hard to be somewhere where no one understood that I was Dominican, where no one spoke Spanish, and where I just felt really, really deeply misunderstood. I felt like I had a total identity crisis in college, and I think there are so many challenges to being a Latina on campus. And so I brought in some friends to chat with me about what their experience was like. So where'd you guys go to school?
Well, I went to Wheaton College in Norton, Massachusetts.
Okay.
It's a very small private liberal arts college that has about 1,600 students, so that's where I went.
Yeah, and I went to school in Nashville, Tennessee, Vanderbilt University.
Oh, nice. And you went on a posse scholarship, right?
Yeah, so I was part of this full tuition leadership scholarship that sends students together in groups of 10. So they're also a support system for each other while they're at the school.
Can you guys tell me a little bit about what your experience was like in college?
I was really fortunate enough to have a good experience at Wheaton College. I would say, probably the only Latina in my classrooms, but I always felt like every opportunity was a teachable moment, and if there was something that was said that was uncomfortable to me or made me feel some type of way, that I could take that time to teach them something about my culture, where I came from.
One of the stories that that comes to mind when I think of just my experience was my freshman year. I met a lot of different people when I was there. In maybe the second week of school, we're all waiting in line at one of the school stores. And one of my friends who speaks Spanish, I see her and I just burst out into Spanish. And I'm like, hey, how are you? ¿Cómo estás? And another friend who's like right behind me tells me, wow, I didn't know that you were Mexican.
Okay.
And I told her, no, I'm not Mexican, actually. I'm from the Dominican Republic. And she's just like, so you are Mexican and black? So, you know, one thing that became really apparent to me was that the misunderstanding wasn't out of malice. It wasn't a racism type of thing. It was really just a lack of exposure. I saw it as an opportunity to teach, just like Deisi. You know, if there was a situation where they didn't understand, let me locate the Dominican Republic for you on a map. You know, and tell you a little bit about our history. So,
right.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you gained anything from the experience? Did you learn anything great?
Yeah, so one of the things that I learned, I got to think more of the diaspora. When I got to the South, all of a sudden, you know, like phenotypically black, you look black, so you're black. And so I had to really come to terms with that part of my identity as well, you know, realizing that, yeah, I'm very much an Afro-Latino.
Yeah.
And that's something that I don't think was part of who I was before I went to college.
On that note, do you feel like there's any advice that you would give to other people that are sort of like maybe going through the college process or are at a college where they're not happy? What advice would you give to them?
Well, I would say definitely do your research, know where you're going, and if there's any scholarship program or opportunity program that can support you in your transition from a New York City public school to a school outside of the state, definitely do that.
I would say do not be discouraged. A lot of, the only way in which we're going to change the climate at college campuses is by bringing in more Latinos. So people who are in the situation where they're applying to school or maybe they're at a predominantly white institution right now should really just take pride in being a pioneer for their people, because they're really, any kind of ignorance that they encounter is ignorance that someone behind them won't encounter.
Thank you for watching, and the only thing that I would add is that if you are in a situation in which you don't feel like you're happy and you're in a university that just isn't changing, then I think that it's okay to get out, it's okay to transfer. There's no shame in that. It's not a failure, and I think sometimes it can be the best choice. I think that it would have been the best choice for me. So thank you for watching, and until next time.